Welcome back, it's Nine, and I'm back again with another video on the PS5, and we have a ton of news that came out today. You know, we have a lot of unboxings that happened. We had some showcase of trophies and how they pop up and all that stuff, but I'm not going to go over that in this video. You can easily search that up on YouTube and take a look at it for yourself. Rather, I want to talk about some articles that have popped up about pretty important topics regarding the PS5. One of them is that Sony has pre-sold as many PS5s in the first 12 hours in the US as it did for PS4 pre-orders in 12 weeks. We're going to be talking about how journalists are throwing praise behind the DualSense. And lastly, we're going to be talking about a new Sony patent that hints for PS5 Auto HDR feature. Now, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 3,000 subscribers. Hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now, let's get right into this, starting with this article that comes from PSU.com titled "Sony has pre-sold as many PS5s in the first 12 hours in the US as it did for PS4 pre-orders in 12 weeks. And this is a big one. This is quite a big deal. In an article from Reuters, Sony's Jim Ryan highlights in an interview that Sony has pre-sold as many PS5 consoles in the first 12 hours in the United States as in the first 12 weeks for its predecessor PlayStation 4 device. Following on from that, Jim Ryan states it may well be that not everybody who wants to buy PS5 on launch day will be able to find one. And this says a lot, guys. This is quite a big deal, guys. This is showing that there's a huge interest for the PS5. And can you imagine if they had enough to go around, just how many units this would sell? Now, if you guys are familiar with @ZHugeX, Daniel Ahmad, who we've talked about before, believes that this likely means the PS5 has more than 1 million pre-orders in the US alone, with that number being drastically higher worldwide. And this is just more confirmation about PlayStation 5 doing really well. It's selling. They can't keep it in stock. I guarantee if there were more units to go around, it would sell continuously to the point that there was nothing left in their inventory. I could imagine that they could sell millions upon millions within just the pre-order phase of things. And unfortunately, there isn't enough to go around. Otherwise, we would probably see something like 5-6 million units sold just within pre-orders. I know that might sound ridiculous to some, but it's a pretty affordable console considering, and it's definitely got the hype around it, and it definitely does have many good games coming to it day one. Now, that's obviously up for debate for some people, but overall, a lot of people are happy with the launch lineup and the games that are going to be available day one, especially with the backwards compatibility there. So this is very exciting news. I'm super excited to see that the PlayStation 5 is killing it, and they're really just showing more demand than ever for the console. So yeah, this could very well break the PS2 record. It might not take that much longer. I could definitely see it being done in 5 to 6 years if this demand and hype continues. Now, on to our next topic, and this comes from PSU.com as well, and this is titled "Jason Schreier, Jeff Bakalar, and other journalists throw praise behind the next-gen DualSense." Now, we've talked a lot about this DualSense controller and just how incredible it is from a technical perspective, right? There's never been a controller like this before, to say the least. There just hasn't been. So let's go over some of the tweets that have been made. So Jason, softer than a soup sandwich Schreier, says, "The PS5 controller is wild. I've been playing Astro's Playroom, the game that comes with the system, and the combo of rumble, haptic, feedback, adaptive triggers feels more next-gen than any graphical improvements we've seen yet. More to come in my review closer to launch." Now, Jason Schreier, he is critical about things sometimes within reason, sometimes not within reason, but I would say that, I would take his word for it. I mean, we all kind of know how I feel about the DualSense at this point. I'm very hyped for it. That's one of my favorite features about the PS5 is the DualSense, and I can't wait to see what that's like. So Jason Schreier backing that up and saying it's the next gen, the most next gen thing out of everything about the PS5 is pretty impressive, and I'm glad to see that he's actually saying something positive. Of course, I'm blocked by him on Twitter because I, made a constructive criticism towards him, and apparently if you disagree with him, you get blocked instantly. So that's why I said he's softer than the soup sandwich. But anyway, on to the next tweet that came out, which was from Jeff Bakalar, and he says, the PS5's DualSense has some wild haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. Here's what it's like to play with, and he had a video to show, and he says, oh, and if you'd like an unboxing PS5 Series X size and controller comparison, I did another thing for you. So he's got some videos up there, and I will definitely have this link in the description if you are interested in looking at that. But that's another person coming out to say that, wow, this is an impressive controller. Next up, we have Skill Up, who says, let me put it this way. There are 2 next-gen consoles releasing next month, but only one next-gen controller. The DualSense is that good. So just more and more confirmation. And this last one comes from @AutomaticZen, and he says, the PS5 is a goddamn chunk of a system. It's 3 pounds heavier than the PS4 Pro and stands almost as tall as my desktop PC. He says the most amazing thing about the PS5 so far is the wild DualSense controller. It feels like the midpoint between the DualShock 4 and Xbox controller, but the haptics and adaptive triggers are mad impressive. The first time a trigger fights you, you'll believe. And this is just what I've been talking about, guys. We've been talking about this, you know, up until now, just how impressive this controller is going to be. These adaptive triggers, the haptics, everything just coming together, making an incredible next-gen experience through the controller, not just through graphics, not just through speed. We're talking about the way you play dominantly is with a controller. So why wouldn't you upgrade that, given that that's the one thing that you're always using when you're on your PS5? So this is something that I think is a good move for Sony, and they've definitely really raised the bar in terms of what is expected from a controller. I can't wait to experience it for myself, but just hearing all these positive praises really makes me believe that we are in for something special. Now on to our last topic, and this comes from PSU.com as well, and this is titled Sony Patent Hints at PS5 Auto HDR Feature. A newly discovered Sony Interactive Entertainment patent has seemingly outed a PS5 Auto HDR feature for the new console. The patent was filed recently on October 22nd by Sony. Auto HDR is a feature that will automatically apply HDR to textures and visuals, thus sharpening the colors and creating the illusion of the tech without it actually being implemented. So it's basically what you'd expect it to be. PS5 Auto HDR feature, it's in the name. It's going to make non-HDR content HDR. So very exciting to hear that they are still working on enhancing HDR functionality across every game now. So that's something that I really appreciate. I don't know if you guys out here have really experienced HDR, if you have the TV for it, proper TV that really can take advantage of it, because not every TV really truly supports it, right? Like if your TV can't get that bright, then the HDR functionality is not going to be that impressive, if making an impact at all. So it also depends on the game, right? Is the game really taking advantage of it? Have they really focused on making the HDR functionality work right? Now, if this auto HDR feature is perfect or really impressive, then it won't matter and it'll really make every game pop. So we'll see what happens, but I think this is a great thing to be added to the PS5, and it's going to be exciting to see games that don't have HDR have that HDR. And it's exciting. I mean, overall, I'm really happy about it. I think there's so much positive news around the PS5 right now. You know, everybody's going at it right now, unboxing their consoles who have it early, and it's only a matter of time for us to get our hands on it. It's very soon, guys. The 30th is coming up soon, where I should have all my accessories in. If I don't have them all in, they will be in shortly after that, and we will do a big extravaganza unboxing and showcase video for you guys. So let me know in the comments if you are interested in seeing a specific feature on any of these devices. Now I'm going to pass this on to you all, and I want to ask you, number one, what do you think of this whole situation with the PlayStation 5 selling more in the first 12 hours in the US than he did for the PS4 pre-orders in 12 weeks? What do you think of what all these journalists are saying about the DualSense being as impressive as it is? And lastly, how do you feel about this new Sony patent? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you haven't subscribed already, we are almost at 3K subs. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. And share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.